Thank you for tuning in to Dropping Jewels podcast. Again, it has been a while since I have posted anything or did an episode, but I wanted to go ahead and touch bases with you. I'm hoping I still have those good listeners out there because I always have something to say. But I do want to drop those jewels for you because it to me is important to understand that you're not alone in your thought processes, and things like that. So I want to talk about something that we all could be facing in our work environment. And we always have those supervisors that is just doing a lot, right? Creating such a hostile work environment for you, creating just overnight concerns that you weren't aware of at a certain point. And so individuals kind of want to hold you back. And so with my podcast and this episode, I want to talk about is your supervisor holding you back in a hostile work environment? Sometimes people feel like they're stuck in their jobs because of a toxic boss or a hostile work environment. So do you feel like your supervisor is holding you back from reaching your full potential? When I do these episodes, I not only address issues that I'm facing, but I know that individuals who are listening facing as well. So in this episode, we will explore the signs of hostile work environment and what you can do to overcome those obstacles and thrive in your career. Whether you're dealing with a bully boss, gossiping boss or coworkers, or lack of resources, my interest is to provide you with the strategies and tips that you need to take control of your career and create a more positive work environment, because it only takes the one experience. You don't have to have a whole bunch of people to create a hostile work environment. It could be that one person. So don't let a hostile work environment hold you back any longer. I want you to go ahead and listen to this episode and start taking action towards a better career today. Now, people don't realize that they're a bully. They have no idea. They feel like their tactic is to hurt you, to dismiss you, to make you feel a certain type of way. But it's always good to tackle the challenge of confronting your supervisor about the toxic work environment and see if things turn around. But we all know that sometimes can get worse. Um, recently, I'm going to share a story. I received a professional improvement plan, a performance improvement plan. I was working at the job for 90 days, a little bit over, and I just received a plan. And the plan that was the supervisor's concern was very negative. It stemmed from me creating a negative work environment, coworkers not liking me, they're not having or getting any trusting relationship from me, that I'm not professional, that I do inappropriate, have inappropriate behavior. And I read it and I was like, nah, this isn't me. I don't know who you're talking about, but this is not me. And I was like, it's definitely personal. You know, what happens is when I confront her about some clarity, she doesn't like it. So she gives me pushback. She's dismissive. She overtalks me. It gives me all kind of, I'm holding you back. I'm not allowing you to be your best self. And it is really disturbing because people actually take the time out to make you feel like you're the issue. But realistically, we know who the issue is. I call it poor management. And there's about, I would say, statistic wise, when it comes to workplace hostility, um, that there are a greater percentage of employees feeling disengaged due to poor management. Like, it kills your morale when you have someone that's constantly picking on you, barking at you, and just coming at them, asking questions for clarity. This particular situation, you give me a job description and I'm not meeting any of those because you're not showing me how to meet them. And then when you give me the performance improvement plan, then you tell me, oh, look, here's a checklist that you have to do. Yet you never showed me and told me that I had these responsibilities. And then the district manager, who's, you have most supervisors either have, there's always somebody over them. So the district manager, I explained to her, I'm not liking this environment. It's hostile. I want to schedule a meeting with you to discuss this because it came out the clear blue. Why this lady says she created it with her and dismissed my concerns. And I said I wasn't going to sign it. And she said, well, you don't have to sign it, but you still have to meet those expectations. Hilarious. Just funny. Leadership style is the most important thing because it allows coworkers to create a positive morale and feel productive in their work environment. So let's talk about signs of a hostile work environment. And I am more than certain those that are listening, they're like, yep, I experience it. How about poor communication? In your mind, you want to say something, but you don't say it. So you're creating this narrative in your mind that you've discussed something with a person and you never did. You discussed it with yourself in your mind. Or you're thinking, well, why would I tell her this? She's going to say yes anyway, because guess what? I have a string over her head, which is, I'm your supervisor. What about sabotage? Like deliberately undermining everything that you do, everything that you say. What about passive aggressiveness? Just being a bully. Just not paying attention to your staff, not protecting and supporting your staff. I remember this person told me that if she get written up, she's going to, another staff member is going to get written up as well. That's what she said. So if I go down, she says she goes down as well. Employer responsibility is lacking of. You're not creating a workspace where every team member feels wanted, deserved, respected. And you know what's so crazy? People feel like, when you have the lack of support, you have micromanagement for no reason. You're doing those things to hold employees back. And bills need to get paid. So don't think people staying around because they like what you're doing. They're staying around because bills and rent and responsibilities that comes with a cost has to get paid. And if a smooth transition works for them, it works for them. But poor leadership is evident. It's evident. Now I'm going to say this. I don't agree to anyone being in a hostile work environment. What I do suggest is that you go beyond and above because there's always human resources. See, human resources is really your employer, no matter where you go, because they're the ones that have the personal handbook. They're the ones that talk about code of ethics. They're the ones that talk about code of conduct, payroll, benefits. Your company doesn't do that. You get that from human resources. Depending on what company you work for, they can reassign you somewhere. Not the company you work for, but human resources. So don't think as an employee you do not have control, because you do. And it's okay to report, because some companies, they do not tolerate retaliation. They do not tolerate, oh, I'm going to terminate you because I don't like you. Because see, sometimes, that's why they have the code of ethics. Every job, professional job, anywhere has a code of ethics. If you work at the restaurant, it could be McDonald's or a family restaurant, or you could work at Target or Walmart. There is always a code of ethics. Anything where you have signs that talk about labor in your um, facility, in your break room, yeah, it's treating you fairly. It's treating you fairly. It's making sure that you are covered. The United States Department of Labor, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, those things that's in the break rooms, labor wages and hour division. Oh, they have stuff on there about the code of ethics. And guess what? You can still work there and continue on with your day. So I hope my shared experiences gave you some insight on moving forward and stepping up and being a voice in a dynamic that lacks leadership, that lacks support, that lacks communication. And as always, I love to hear from you guys. I love to hear what your stories are. I feel like at a certain point, it's a lot, but we have to know what our value is, why they chose you to be in that company. You know, um, sometimes people have to respect your experience, your professionalism. And sometimes if they don't have that, they're going to say you don't have it because they don't have it. They don't know what that feels like or looks like. If they can't respect you, they haven't been respected. They maybe don't respect themselves, so they don't know how that feels like or what it looks like. So just note that, dismiss that hostile work environment, and just know you can overcome those obstacles. Find ways to thrive. Push towards being that person's supervisor. Get those credentials needed for growth so you can create your own positivity. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise because their spirit is not where it should be. All right. Again, thank you so much for listening to Dropping Jewels podcast. I hope I was able to drop some jewels on you and give you some insight on how to handle certain things that, sometimes you have to face. You know, continue to be you, continue to be encouraged and uplifted. And until next time, bye.